Hello everybody, hope all of you are well. You should maintain the 6 feet distance in public places. You have to use mask in public places and always wash your hands properly with sanitizers. And today is your first class after Durga Puja, so Shubho Vijaya to all of you. And then now I will discuss your pre-annual unit test portion. In pre-annual unit test portion, the syllabus is from inorganic chemistry, the S block elements and group 13 elements. Okay, from physical chemistry there is trace of matter and thermodynamics. And from organic chemistry some basic principle and techniques and hydrocarbons. Okay, so already this part we have completed and today we will start from hydrocarbons. Now in hydrocarbons, already you have learned in class 10 that there is alkane, alkenes and alkynes, and there is also aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay. First we will discuss the occurrence. Petroleum is a liquid, okay, and which contains 150 types of hydrocarbons. Natural gas also contains methane, ethane, propane. Methane is also found in coal mines. Fuel gas obtained from coal gas contains about 32% methane. Okay. Next we will discuss the preparation. So first we know that decarboxylation of the carboxylic acid, okay, can produce this alkane. Suppose if we take that CH3COONA and we have to heat with soda lime, NaOH and CaO mixture. Then if we apply heat, then there will be formation of methane plus sodium carbonate. Okay, by this we can prepare methane gas. Okay, if you want to prepare the ethane gas, then we have to take the propanoic acid sodium salt, sodium propanoate, and if we apply it with soda lime, then we can get the ethane. Okay. Next we will discuss the another method that is called Coles electrolytic method. Coles electrolytic method. Here we have to take the aqueous solution of sodium salt of carboxylic acid. Okay, that will yield alkanes on electrolysis. Okay, actually the reaction will happens at anode. Okay, twice CH3COO minus. Okay, anode there will be oxidation. Okay, there will be release of electron. So it will form twice CH3COO minus dot radical plus 2 electron. Okay, but anode there will be oxidation. Okay, next this CH3COO will decompose to give the ethane, and there will be formation of carbon dioxide gas twice CO2. Okay, and we will get this ethane. Actually what is happening here, that is CH3 C double bond O dot is there, so this bond is breaking and there will be formation of CH3 dot plus CO2. This CH3 dot will react with another CH3 dot forming the ethane. So in this process, okay, we can prepare the generally even numbers of alkane. Okay, so it is not suitable method for the preparation of alkanes having odd number of carbon atoms. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss that from alkyl halide. If we take one alkyl halide, suppose we are taking that C2H5Br, and if we take magnesium metal in presence of the dry ether, then there will be formation of one reagent C2H5MgBr. This reagent is called Grignard reagent. Now with this Grignard reagent, if we add water, definitely it will produce alkane C2H6. Okay. And we can use another other protic solvents like alcohol. We can use C2H5OH. That will also produce ethane gas. Okay, in this way we can prepare alkane. Next one is Varsh reaction that already you know from class 10. So here we are taking that alkyl halide and twice Na plus alkyl halide, and solvent we are using dry ether, and there will be formation of alkane Rr plus twice NaX. Now in this case, okay, if we want to prepare the odd number alkane having the odd number, okay, that is not possible, because when we want to try with this methyl iodide plus twice Na plus C2H5I, then there will be mixture of products. We will get CH3, CH3, ethane we get C2H5, C2H5, that means butane we will get, and then we can get this propane also, what is our desired product. So we will get the mixture of products. So it is very difficult to separate such mixtures because they are boiling point, okay, will be very close, okay. So generally this method, this Varsh reaction is not generally used, okay, for the preparation of unsymmetrical alkene. Then what to use? We have to use another very important reaction, that is called Corey-House reaction. Next we will discuss the Corey-House reaction. Corey-House reaction, Corey-House coupling reaction. Okay. So here the main reagent is R2CuLi. R2CuLi. This is the Corey-House reagent. Okay. How to prepare? First we have to take the, I am taking one example, suppose ethyl iodide we are taking. Okay, we have to use lithium ether. Then there will be formation of twice C2H5Li. Okay, and with this reagent we have to add copper iodide, CuI. Okay, now this CuI liberate the lithium iodide, and there will be formation of C2H5 dialkyl or diethyl copper lithium, diethyl CuLi. This will form, and this reagent, okay, this reagent is called the Corey-House reagent. Now with this reagent, if we add CH3I, definitely we will get the C2H5CH3. That means we will get the propane. Propane we will get. So by using this reaction, we can prepare even number of alkanes as well as odd number of alkanes. So this is the best method, okay. But reaction is quite difficult as we are using the lithium. Handling of this reaction is quite tough. Next we will discuss the reduction process. Okay. Reduction process, first we will discuss the reduction of alcohol. Okay. So C2H5OH. Here we have to add the HI and red phosphorus. So here we need twice HI and red phosphorus, and we have to apply heat around 420 Kelvin. Then we will get the corresponding ethane plus water, and there will be formation of iodine. Hope you can understand. Okay. Now if we take acetone or ketone, then what will happen? Then the number of HI will be required will be more. Here we require 4 HI. That will also react with this red phosphorus HI. 4 HI is required, and temperature is also same, 420 Kelvin. Then from here we will get the propane. That means CH3, CH2, CH3. Plus there will be formation of propane, and there will be formation of water and iodine. Water plus twice iodine. Okay, now if we take the acid, CH3C double bond OH, here the number of HI will be more, required more, that is 6 HI is required. Here also red phosphorus and 420 Kelvin. So from here we will get the ethane, plus there will be formation of water, plus there will be formation of triazide. So in this way, from alcohol or ketone and from acid, by reduction we can prepare alkanes. This is one method by using red phosphorus and HI. Next, we will discuss the Clemenson reduction. Okay, Clemenson reduction, the main reagent is zinc amalgam and concentrated HCl. If we take aldehyde or ketone, CH3CHO, this is the acetaldehyde. Here we are using zinc amalgam and concentrated HCl. Okay, then we have to apply little bit of heat. Then we will get the CH3CH3 ethane. Okay, and if we take the acetone like CH3COCH3, if we use the same reagent, and the reaction is called Clemenson reduction. Concentrate HCl, then we will get CH3, CH2, CH3. Okay, here we will get the alkanes. And another method is there is synthesis method. If we take carbon and hydrogen and by electric arc around near about high temperature 1500 Kelvin, okay, we will get the methane. Okay. Now industrially alkanes can be obtained from petroleum distillation, okay, in large scale. Next, we will discuss the physical properties. Okay, first we have to know the state. Four alkanes, first four alkanes: methane, ethane, propane, and butane. They are gases. Next, up to 17. That means pentane, hexane, heptane. Up to the 17, they are liquids. And the higher order alkanes are solids, and these alkanes are very low density. They have very low density, and they are liquid solids. These liquid solids and all are lighter compared to the water. Okay, if you take kerosene oil in water, kerosene will float. Okay, these are the alkanes. Next, we will discuss the boiling points. Alkanes have low boiling points. Okay, as type of bond is covalent and the force is very weak, that is van der Waals attractive force present among the alkane molecules, and as well as they are non-polar. Okay. Now branch chain isomers of the alkane having the lowering boiling point compared to the straight chain isomers, because the branching of the surface area decreases. As surface area decreases, that means the van der Waals force, attractive force also decreases. Okay. Now we will come to the melting point. Melting point of hydrocarbons depends not only the size of the molecules but also on the packing into the crystal. If the molecules are tightly packed, definitely the melting point will be higher compared to the less tightly packed molecules. Okay. It is observed that odd number of carbons do not fit well into the crystal lattice. If we think about from methane to ethane to propane, their melting point, generally we are increasing the molecular weight, methane to ethane to propane. So melting point should increase. But if we write the melting point, then you can understand methane melting point will be around 90 Kelvin. This one is methane, okay. And if we think about the ethane, its melting point will be 101 Kelvin. But if we think about propane in C3H8, in case of propane, the melting point will be around 85 Kelvin. So what we are observing here, the melting point from ethane to propane decreases. Okay, as ethane is more symmetric molecule, so it is even number molecule. Here packing is very good, and here odd number molecule means unsymmetrical. Packing is not good, so it will not fit into the crystal. That is why melting point decreases. Next, we will discuss the solubility. Alkanes are non-polar in character, and they will be dissolved in non-polar solvents such as ether. We can think about carbon disulfide, carbon tetrafluoride, etc. Benzene. Okay. Next, we will discuss the chemical properties. Alkanes are called parafins as they are very much less reactive. The carbon-carbon bond energy is very high, around 347 kilojoule per mole, and carbon-hydrogen bond energy is also very high, 414 kilojoule per mole. So these bond energies are very strong and do not break easily. Okay, that is why alkanes are called paraffin and very less reactive compounds. So these alkanes generally undergo substitution type of reaction. Already you have learned in class 10 that there will be chlorination and bromination. Okay, they are same type of reaction. When you take methane and you apply give chlorine in diffuse sunlight, but direct sunlight there will be espresso. Okay, so CH4 when you are taking chlorine in diffuse sunlight, we will get methyl chloride plus HCl. In the next step, what will happen? This methyl chloride again will react with this chlorine, excess chlorine, diffuse sunlight, it will form CH2Cl2, this is called dichloromethane, and then dichloromethane will also react with Cl2 forming CHCl3, chloroform plus HCl, and finally this chloroform will again react with this chlorine. Okay, we get carbon tetrachloride plus HCl. So in this way we will get a mixture of chlorinated product. Okay, monochloro, dichloro, trichloro, and tetrachloro. Okay, and if we think about the bromine, okay, same type of reaction will be there. One reaction I am showing you, that bromine and diffuse sunlight will get methyl bromide plus HBr. So in the same way, there will be C2 mixture of CH2Br2, then CHBr3 bromoform, then we get CBr2. Okay, but in case of iodine, the reaction is the reversible. Okay, so CH4 and I2 will form CH3I plus HI, but the reaction is reversible. So there will be chance of backward reaction. Okay, here we have to stop this reversible reaction. We have to decompose the HI, and for decomposing HI, we need the strong oxidizing agent like HiO3, hydroiodic acid. We can use HNO3, nitric acid, or HU. That will decompose the HI to iodine. Okay, now in case of fluorination, direct fluorination is not possible because the explosive nature of these reactions. Okay, so we have to use other reaction like Schwarz reaction. We can take any alkyl chloride, and if we use the reagents like Ag2F2, okay, then it will form the exchange of halide ethyl chloride. If we add Ag2F2, that will form the fluoroethane. Okay, in this way we can prepare the fluorine compound. And if we take the unsymmetrical alkene, then what will happen? As this is a free radical mechanism I am showing, we take some unsymmetrical alkene. If you give chlorine and sunlight, then there will be two types of products. One will be the 1-chloropropane and another will be the 2-chloropropane. Now which one will be the major product? Definitely this one will be the major product, because here the reaction is passing through the free radical mechanism. At 2 degree free radical is more stable compared to the 1 degree free radical, so this will be your major product. Hope you can understand. Next we will show the mechanism. First, what is happening when chlorine molecule we are giving the sunlight, okay, diffuse sunlight. In step 1 there will be homolytic cleavage, okay, and there will be formation of free radical. Okay, in the second step, step 2, this free radical will react with this methane molecule, forming CH3Cl plus if we react with this Cl dot, okay, then what is happening? That Cl dot will react with this methane, forming, I think, HCl. There will be formation of HCl plus CH3 dot. Okay. Next, this CH3 dot will again react with the chlorine molecule. Okay. CH3 dot react with chlorine molecule, forming CH3Cl plus Cl dot. Okay. Now, this is the step 2 and step 3. This both these reactions, this is chain initiation. Okay, initiation step. And these two steps are called propagation step. Propagation step. Okay. Now, what is happening here? This chlorine radical is reacting with methane, abstracting the hydrogen from the methane, forming HCl and CH3 dot. And this CH3 dot is reacting with chlorine, forming our desired product, that is CH3Cl and Cl dot. And finally, there will be the chain termination step, step 4. Chain termination step. So this is completely free radical mechanism, that CH3 and CH3 will combine with each other. CH3 dot, CH3 dot, free radical will form ethane, and Cl dot also may combine, okay, forming Cl2, and CH3 dot and Cl dot will also combine to form CH3. So in this way we can easily understand the pre-radical mechanism of the substitution of alkane by halogen. Okay. So in case of unsymmetrical alkane, okay, if the radical is more stable, that will give you the more, where there is chance of formation of more than one type of radical. So we know that 3 degree radical is more stable than 2 degree than 1 degree. So definitely the more stable radical will give the major product. Next we will discuss the combustion. Combustion, you know that methane, if we burn with oxygen, that will produce carbon dioxide, water, and there will be generation of heat. Okay, but when the amount of oxygen is less or insufficient supply of oxygen is there, definitely there will be formation of carbon monoxide or carbon black. Methane will react with oxygen in sufficient air or insufficient oxygen, that will form carbon monoxide, or it can form carbon also. Next we will discuss the catalytic oxidation. When methane will burn, okay, in presence of copper tubes, okay, or if we pass the methane oxygen mixture through copper tubes at 475 Kelvin and 120 atmospheric pressure, then there will be formation of alcohol. Okay, we can use molybdenum oxide also. Okay, that will also form the corresponding aldehyde, or that may be formation of alcohol. Okay. Next we will discuss that oxidation with KMnO4. Due to their stable nature, alkanes are not generally oxidized by oxidizing agents like potassium permanganate. However, alkanes having tertiary hydrocarbons, okay, suppose we think about this one. Okay, here if we give the KMnO4, then what will be the product? There will be formation of alcohol. It will not form the acid. Okay. It will be, so this tertiary hydrogen, okay, will be oxidized to alcohol. Next we will discuss the fragmentation of alkanes. When higher members of alkanes family are heated to high temperatures or slightly lower temperature in presence of catalysts like alumina or silica, then there will be breakdown, okay, of these alkanes, and these alkanes will form in presence of this catalyst. They can form alkenes, okay, and lower members of alkanes, okay, alkenes they can form. Next we will discuss the reaction with steam. If we take methane and if we react with steam, that means H2. Here we have to use some catalyst like nickel and heat. Definitely it will produce carbon monoxide. Last there will be formation of hydrogen gas. Okay. Next one is isomerization. Isomerization reaction. Suppose if we take the butane, this is the N-butane. Okay. This is the normal chain. Okay. There is no branch. Then if we add AlCl3, HCl and apply heat, probably through radical mechanism, here heat is required around 570 Kelvin, we will get this isomerized product. Okay, that means 2-methyl propane. And next there will be aromatization type of reactions. If we take hexane and here if we give the reagent like Cr2O3, vanadium pentoxide, okay, or you can use molybdenum oxides, and temperature is required around 773 Kelvin and high pressure is required around 20 atmosphere, then there will be formation of aromatic compound. We will get benzene. And if we apply the same condition, okay, in case of heptane, okay, then there we will get the toluene. These are the aromatic compounds. Okay. And next there is in your book, there is methane and ethane, the physical and chemical properties, whatever I have discussed, and reactions are same. So you have to read the uses or applications, okay, that you know from class 10, and they are same as alkanes. Okay. Next we will go to the alkenes. alkenes are much more reactive than alkanes. Okay, seldom occurs in the free nature, and alkenes can be prepared in large amounts by cracking of petroleum. Okay, and if we draw the structure, then you can easily understand. That the lowest alkene is the ethene, and both these carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized. Okay, so if we draw the MO diagram, then you can easily understand. This is the pi bond. Okay, and these are the sigma bonds. Okay, these are the sigma bonds. Okay, this one is the sp2 sigma bond, this one is the sp2 s sigma bond, and this one is the pi bond. Okay, and pi bond is more reactive because pi bonds are weak compared to the sigma bond, and they generally take part in the addition type of reactions. This pi bond you can easily break, and there will be reactions. Now these alkanes, okay, so different types of isomerization. There may be position isomer like CH3, CH double bond CH, CH3, and here may be CH2 double bond C, H, CH2, CH3. So these are called position isomer, and there may be also geometrical isomer like CH3, C double bond CH3, H, H, CH3, C double bond CH3, H, H. So here two methyls are in the opposite side, that means it one is trans, and this is the butene, the cis butene. This is trans butene, this is 2. So they are geometrical isomer. This type of isomer they can show. It has been experimentally found that the alkene substituted, okay, if we give some alkyl group to this carbon-carbon double bond, that means alkyl substituted alkenes, they are more stable, okay, compared to the unsubstituted alkene. And from heat of hydrogenation value, we can easily predict the stability of alkenes. And higher the value of heat of hydrogenation, the lower will be the stability. From this cis-trans isomer, we can easily predict. Okay. So hydrogenation means we have to add hydrogen. Suppose if we take the trans one, you know that trans one is the more stable because of less steric hindrance. So here, if we give hydrogen 1 mole, and reagent, if we use the platinum reagent, then we will get the corresponding alkane. Then we will get ethane, and there will be release of some amount of energy. In case of trans, the heat of hydrogenation value will be minus 115 Kelvin, kilojoule per mole. Okay, but if we take the cis one, cis isomer, here hydrogen 1 mole, platinum or nickel we can add, there will be also formation of ethane, and here the amount of energy in case of cis will be released more, minus 119 kilojoule per mole. So from here we can easily understand, here the heat of hydrogenation value is less, so this one is stable, and if the heat of hydrogenation value is high, okay, then it will be less stable. Okay, so lower the heat of hydrogenation value, higher will be the stability of the alkenes. Okay. Otherwise, we can also explain through the hyperconjugative structure. Okay, in case of when we are increasing the number of alkyl groups, okay, to this double bond, definitely the number of hyperconjugative structure will increase, and it will be more stable. Okay, and the heat of hydrogenation value will be the low. Okay, next we will discuss the dehydration of alcohol. So from lower classes, you know, if you take ethanol, and if you give concentrated sulfuric acid and if you maintain the temperature around 170 degrees centigrade, then there will be formation of ethylene. But if you give lower temperatures around 135 degrees centigrade, then there will be formation of ether, okay, diethyl ether. Now we can use that aluminium oxide around 620 degree Kelvin, then also from alcohol we get the ethylene. Next, this mechanism of this type of reaction is very important, okay. Suppose CH3, CH2OH, this is ethanol. Here we are giving concentrated H2SO4, okay, and temperature 170 degree centigrade. We are getting the ethylene molecule with the elimination of water. Now first, what is happening when we are giving that acid concentrated H2SO4? So H2SO4 will be dissociated to H plus HSO4 minus. So in the first step there will be protonation of this alcohol, okay. It will accept one H plus, forming CH3, CH2, OH2 plus. And this is the first step of the mechanism. In the next step, what is happening? There will be the loss of water molecule and formation of carbocation. So this water molecule will lose, okay, and there will be formation of the reversibles, polar reversibles, okay, CH3, CH2 plus. And in the third step, what will happen? One hydrogen will be attracted by this HSO4 minus, and there will be formation of ethylene molecule. These are the three-step mechanism. So again, I am telling, in the first step there will be protonation of alcohol. In the second step there will be loss of water molecule, and in the third step there will be the formation of alkene. Okay. Next, if we take another type of alcohol having more than 3, like 4 carbon atoms, okay, then what will happen? Suppose if we take 1 butanol, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH. Here if we give the concentrated H2SO4 plus apply heat around 170 degree centigrade, then there will be formation of 2 products, that is CH3, CH double bond, CH, CH3, plus there will be formation of CH3, CH2, CH double bond, CH2. Okay. Now here which one will be the major product? This one will be the major product, and this one will definitely this one will be the major product here. Here we will get this one is 80% and this one will be 20%. Now what is happening? Definitely there will be some rearrangement reaction. When we are adding H plus to this compound, first step there will be protonation, CH3, CH2, CH2, OH2 plus. Then there will be release of water molecule, okay, elimination of water molecule. We know that this is the primary radical, primary carbocation. Primary carbocation is forming. Since primary carbocation is not so much stable, definitely there will be shifting of one hydrogen. That is the rearrangement step, and we will get the more stable carbocation. Plus. So the major product will come from here. So HSO4 minus, we abstract this proton, we will get this more substituted alcohol and major product. And here also from this part, if HSO4 abstract this proton before rearrangement, we will get this 1 butane. So 1 butane product will be 20% and 2 butane product will be 80%. Hope you can understand. So in this way we will get the rearrangement product, okay, that is the major product 80% and the minor product will be here 20%. Next we will discuss the dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halides. Okay. If we take any alkyl halide like ethyl bromide, if we give alcoholic KOH, because of elimination reaction, there will be elimination of HBr and we will get the corresponding ethylene, that means corresponding alkene we will get, okay, and there will be formation of KBr and there will be formation of H2. So this is the elimination reaction. But if we take one vicinal dibromide like CH2Br, CH2Br, and if we add zinc here, then if we distill with zinc or we apply heat, then there will be formation of ethylene molecule and there will be formation of ZnBr. Okay. Next, from alkene. From alkene we can use the Lindlar catalyst. suppose we are taking this CH3, C triple bond C CH3. Here we have to use hydrogen, palladium. Okay, this is the linear catalyst, and here we have to use sulfur or quinolene, okay, or carbon. Palladium, carbon is required. So sulfur or quinolene they are using as a poison to decrease the reactivity of the catalyst. Okay, and here one thing is more very important, that whenever hydrogen we are using, that we have to take 1 mole. We should not take it excess. A measured quantity we have to take. Then we will get the cis product here, because there will be sign addition. Okay, on palladium surface there will be addition of this one and hydrogen also, and there will be sign addition, and we will get the cis product. And this reaction is known as hydrogenation, and the catalyst is known as Lindlar catalyst. Okay, but another very important reaction is there. If we want to prepare the trans 2-butene, then we have to use sodium and liquid ammonia, and this reaction is known as Bart's reduction. So here we will get the trans product. So from this butene, if we want to prepare the cis butene, okay, then we have to use the Lindlar catalyst and hydrogen. And if we want to prepare the trans product, then we have to use the sodium and liquid ammonia. Okay, and this reaction is called the Bart's reductions. Next one, we can use the cold electrolysis method. By cold electrolysis method or dicarboxylic acid salt, we can also prepare the alkenes. Okay, like CH2, CAANA, CH2, CAANA, and by electrolysis, here we can produce ethylene, CH2, double bond CH2. And other side products will be the carbon dioxide, okay, sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. And another process is there, that is cracking. Okay, that higher alkanes on heating to high temperature decompose to give the lower alkanes and alkenes. Suppose if we take this CH3, CH2, CH3, and we are applying higher temperature around 775 Kelvin, then from here we will get the methane and ethylene. And as we are using the temperature, higher temperature, so this is called cracking or pyrolysis. Okay, so by this reaction also we can produce ethylene. Next we will discuss the properties of alkenes. Properties of alkenes. Okay, the first 3 members, okay, are up to first member is C2, that means ethylene, propylene and butylene. Okay, these are gases. And next up to 18, that means from C5 to C18, they are liquids. And higher members, they are solids. And alkenes also have low density and they are lighter than water. And if we want to consider their boiling points and melting points, alkenes have higher melting point and boiling points corresponding to the alkenes. Okay, because here pi electrons are there. These pi electrons in the unsaturated hydrocarbon can be polarized more easily, and this permits the formation of the induced dipoles, okay, which are responsible for the intermolecular attractive forces. Okay, so alkenes are generally, we know that these are the non-polar. We take the symmetrical alkenes, okay, and so they will be insoluble. So today up to this, next day we will discuss the chemical properties of the alkenes as well as the alkynes. So today up to this, thank you.